Okay, so I wanted to talk about, because it's Team Cup and just in general, like people have been asking questions kind of like from start to finish. That's what I should have called it instead of, my brain has not been really working lately. Oh, here is me scheduling my MBF post. That's not what I want. So beginning to end, because I guess start to finish was not a good enough thing in my brain. I don't want to share it. I am sorry, guys. I am struggling hardcore today. Okay, here we go. Present. It's like I'm not a teacher or something. School is going to be rough next week if I can't figure out how to do this. Okay, so from beginning to end. So first, a few announcements. So we picked a date. Team retreat we're going to do October 30th through November 1st, and it's going to be in Mitchell, South Dakota. So on that Friday, I don't have school, so I'll probably get there like whenever the check-in time is, which is, I don't know, I'm guessing like 3 o'clock. And then we'll just have some like snacks and appetizers and just like food to kind of like snack on throughout the night. And there probably won't be anything too structured. Like it'll just kind of be hanging out and stuff like that while people get there. Cause some people might get there at 5 in the afternoon and some might not even get there till like 8 o'clock at night, depending on their work schedules. Some fun things I have planned. I am really excited. So one fun thing is I booked a photographer. So we will have a photographer to take photos. And I am just like excited about that because you can ask Angie and Amber how well it went having my tripod. And we literally have pictures of it like falling over mid-fall. Yeah, those are some good ones. So the other thing is pre and postnatal bar blend launched, which is something I think is huge because Beachbody is now really starting to get into like those niche markets of like women who are some of our objections, right? Of like, well, I'm pregnant, so now's not really the time for me, or I just had a baby, now's not the time. And so now I think it'll be nice because it's a way to ease our customers in, or even challengers who get pregnant, so they have a program that they can feel comfortable continuing on with. So that one is super exciting. I've heard really good things and it's just really cool. You have to watch Elisa's video on it because she talks about making pregnancy a superpower, not a condition, which is like just super cool. Also, Team Cup, keep in the back of your mind that August 17th is the promo code refill date. So any promo code you use until the 16th, they will refill it. So then you get more $20 off promo codes. And then August 31st, 10 rounds will come on Beachbody On Demand, which I think is pretty fun. So I know Callahan's doing 10 rounds. So if you have questions, you can, look at her flexing those guns. And so Angie's going to see her at a CDE contest and Callahan's going to like punch her out and be like, bam. And so I'm excited for that one. Okay, so this is where we get into like from beginning to end. So this is a question I get all the time. How do you find people to follow? And I don't know if you've been there or you struggle with this. I have been following, I follow a lot of people every single day. And this week, it was crazy good. This week, I increased my follower count. If you're using your tracker, it has a spot for that, right? It tells you like new followers down at the bottom. So I write my start and stuff. So like I am trying to average 100 new followers a week. This week I got to 90. So my goal next week is 100. And how do I do it is obviously people who like my photos. So I want to go in and follow them. People who follow your friends, right? So I don't do it for like our other coaches. Like I don't go to Angie's profile and follow the people that follow her, but I'll go to like, I think of my friend Jaden, like her and I are in photos, or anytime my friends post pictures of us in them, I like to follow the people who like that photo because then I'm a familiar face, right? Like they just saw my face, they liked that photo and they kind of know who I am. So I go to my friends and I follow their followers. People who live in your town. So I know that's hard for some of us small town people, but I'll do it for like Brookings, right? Because I'm like, okay, who lives in Brookings? A lot of college kids. So I'll do that. I will do people who live near me, right? So people in Huron, people in Woolsey, the only things that come up are the teenage girls that use Instagram. And I'm like, this is awkward. And so I do like Brookings, Sioux Falls, like I do kind of some of the bigger cities. And along that line, if you use the, like, you can go in your Instagram and search places, maybe search places you want to go. So I think if there's a coffee shop you really like in Fargo, if there's I don't know, a dog park you go to, if there's anything, any business that you really enjoy or a certain store or any of that, I try to go to that tags and see who have tagged that, because then you already know you have that one thing in common. And then you can be like, hey, so-and-so, I saw you love, I don't know. I just think of a coffee shop because Angie and Callahan went to a coffee shop this week, you know? So I'm like, oh, I saw that you love Caribou Coffee. Like, me too. What's your drink order? Like, and there's a conversation. People who went to your college. So like SDSU, like I, especially in the fall and just during events or like during Hobo Day, stuff like that, I will search the SDSU tag or like South Dakota State, and I will follow people who go to SDSU, because then obviously we have that in common, who like the same accounts as you. So I've talked about boutiques. If there's like a certain mom, Rachel Hollis, a certain speaker, if there's, I'm trying to think of like little stores, or there is an ag teacher who was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of leading the way, I don't know, with virtual stuff. And she just, like, a lot of ag teachers around the nation follow her. So like I'm constantly on her page following ag teachers who follow her, because they have the same interests that I do, and people with the same job, right? So like we're lucky because for ag ed, we have a hashtag like Teach Ag. That's kind of like our hashtag. And so I follow a lot of people who put that hashtag, or I don't know what hashtag, right? Like Jess might follow Farm Her, or I try to look at teacher hashtags, or sorry, Amber, I don't know what hashtag would be your hashtag. I mean, like people who work on a university, I don't know, but you got to find the hashtag and do that. So use your locations, use your friend's account, use other accounts and hashtags. Like I used to be so worried about my ratio, but now I really don't think it freaking matters. So like I follow, I don't know, probably over 50 people a day. I'm just like follow. And here's the other thing. When I follow them, if they have a public profile, I will go in and like and comment on a post, because then I think it also gets you interacting with them, and they realize, and then it brings them to your page because they see multiple notifications of you popping up. Then when they, it might be on the next one. Nope. Okay. Then if they follow me back, I send them a quick message. Posting, make sure you add value. So make sure you're posting recipes, you're posting tips and tricks, you're posting ideas. Like it's really great. Like I used to just post pictures of me all the time. Like it was just me, it was a caption. And then I like wasn't gaining the traction I thought that I like should have been. And I realized it's because I wasn't posting anything that like people needed. Like Instagram now, like it's a selling, like that is what Instagram is really used for, is more so like seeing things you want to purchase or buy, right? Because we follow boutiques, we follow stores, we follow your hair lady, you follow all these people. And really Instagram now is a platform of like, what can I get out of it? And so add value. And the other thing is show what you're doing, right? So post videos, post about your shake, right? Like I always talk about my shake because I think it normalizes this. I'll address it later too with objections, but I think it's easier. Like if people see me drinking my stuff every day, my Energize, my stuff like that, they see it as an integral part that has helped me on my journey. And then they're more likely to be like, okay, like I do need that because like you have been really successful with that and it's helped you. So I should probably do that too. So just always show what you're doing. Oh, there's the baby. And so always show what you're doing. Meal planning, I mean, food, like one idea for you this week you could do is you could do like a day in the life of your food. Like you can post your Energize, like anytime you eat anything. This is also a really good way to keep yourself on track with a meal plan. Like anything that goes in your mouth, you are going to post a photo of it and post it because it helps you stay accountable. And it also helps you show people like what you eat and that you're not starving yourself. Connecting. So make sure you're commenting on photos, you're replying to stories, you're asking questions. So a lot of times I try to say, you know, like, I love your outfit. Where did you get it from? Or I love this idea. Tell me more about it. Or I don't know, and then message back after the follow back. So this is an example. I say, hey, so-and-so. So I would be like, hey, Amber, thanks for following me back. I love connecting with other dog moms in South Dakota. And so then I obviously would say, well, maybe I could say, where are you from? Because it might mean town, but always end with a question, right? So Jess could follow another mom. Oh, Elizabeth, you have a question? You raise your hand. Oh, she's just so cute. Right? She might be like, hey, I don't know, Susie, thanks for following me back. I love connecting with other moms. Where are you from? Because it starts a conversation. So when you do those questions, it opens the door instead of just saying like, hey, thanks for following me back. And then I'm like, well, this is awkward. Like, okay, thanks. And so I do that, or I do like, if they have a dog, I'll be like, what breed is your dog? Or how old is your dog? Or I just connect a lot. Or teaching, right? I'm like, how long have you been teaching? What do you teach? Stuff like that. Okay, inviting. Oh no, we have a casualty. My keyboard broke. That's new. Oops. Inviting. So I invite anyone who likes my photos, anyone who watches my stories, comments, and follows me. So like quite frankly, I go through, if I post a photo, I'll scroll through and I'll just like click on their name, message them, invite them, right? Like, and that's how I go through the list. Or same thing with my stories. And then I just make my invite specific to that, right? So if it's someone who's watching my story, I'm like, hey, so-and-so, thanks for watching my story. This is what I've got going on. Or, hey, thanks for liking on my photos, or whatever. And so I invite anyone who shows interest in me, because if they were like, at first with inviting, I was so worried about what if they think I'm annoying. But if they like your content or they're watching your story, they deliberately click on it every day. So they obviously care about what you're doing. Sample invites. So, right, these are the two I just used. So like, hey, Sam, thanks for watching my stories. I have a few $20 off promo codes to help you start your health and fitness journey with us in our accountability group. Can I send you some details? Hi, Cassie. This is literally from Friday, guys. Hi, Cassie. Happy Friday. Thanks for your recent love on my posts. You may have seen that I'm enrolling in my Muscle Burns Fat Bootcamp Round 2. This program is straight fire, and I would love to have you join us. Can I send you more deets? Which is my words, right? Like, I bet you all could see me saying like, happy Friday, like, this is straight fire. Like, those are things people have heard me say before, so they know that those are my words. And make it unique. And I know some of you guys are like, how do you make it so you get ghosted less? And what I found is that if I ask if I can send them details, I get more responses than if I just say like, is that something you're interested in? Because I think if there's any sort of something that could sound like a commitment, people are fearful of saying like, sure, because they think then they're like locked in for the rest of their life. Whereas if you just say, you know, can I send you some more details? Or, you know, I'm trying to think of other ways to phrase that, but I try to do something about like, can I send you some details, something non-committal, because people kind of get panicked if you are like, is that something you're interested in? And then they're like, man, I don't know, that's not enough info. Like, or something along the lines of like, have you ever thought about like joining one of my accountability groups? I'd love to send you more details, or something like that. Follow up. So if this is what works for me. And here's what I'm going to preface. If it feels yucky, don't do it, right? So if you're like, Brianna, that would be weird for me to follow up after 24 hours, then don't do it. But for me, I know that I'm busy. And like, even this weekend, I had messages from people that I opened that I never responded because I don't know, I thought I had a minute, opened it, didn't have time, got distracted, and then I never messaged them back. So how I do it, as if I was not ghosted, if someone asks for details and then I follow up in 24 hours. So like, I had a girl who said like, yeah, send me some details, sent her the details, sent her the pictures, sent her the voice memos, and nothing. So then I follow up in 24 hours and I just say like, hey, I know life gets busy. I forget to respond to my messages all the time. Did you have any other questions? If they say no, well, then it's just in their court. But a lot of times they'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot. Or, you know, like, no, it might not be, you know, whatever, but it reminds them. Also, this is my personal thing, right? A lot of coaches will say they re-invite every single month. So if Amber did, you know, if I invite her June 1, if I invite her in June, I'm going to invite her again in July. Well, my personal rule, right, I think that feels yucky because I think it is annoying. And so my rule is if someone does not sign up, I re-invite them every 2 months or every, I don't know, it'd be like 3 months, I guess. So if I invited in June or July, it doesn't matter. Maybe if it was like June 1, I might invite them again. But June or July, I don't invite them in August because I just don't want them to think like the only thing you want from me is to like sell me this challenge pack. And so some people, like, maybe at some point I'll get over that. And some people I invite every month because they're people that like have hinted that they want to do it. They're people who I think would be really good at it or really need it. And so it feels less awkward to invite them every month, you know, because maybe they say like, no, now's not the time. Well, now's not the time. Like, that sounds like a great invite for like in a month when I'm running another challenge group. And so you'll find the time that feels right to you, but I am never afraid. Like, even if they ghosted me, I keep inviting them like until you block me, or which I've never, as far as I know, I've never had someone block me. And I've never ever had anyone send me hate mail and be like, leave me alone, you crazy psycho. And so, that's kind of how I do that. And then common objections. So you guys can definitely chime in on this if you guys have conquered some of these and you think you have some good wording for it. But like, I know one is like too much money. So it took me a little while to figure out how to like tactfully, you know, like take that objection without being like trying to sound salesy of like, but like, you know, they'll be like, oh, sorry, it costs too much. And being like, but, you know, like trying to close the deal. But people don't understand that there are other options. So if you send them a challenge pack and they're like, I just don't think I can afford it, I'll say something like, no, that's totally understandable. When I got started, I just got started with the workouts. I could send you the prices. They start at $39 for 3 months, right? And I don't think I've ever had someone tell me no on the 3 months for $39. Like, if they're seriously interested in it, right? Some people just aren't interested because they're not willing to put in the time, you know, or they're just not willing to work out. But I've never had someone who's wanted to get started that hasn't done 3 months for $39. The other thing I talk about, Jess and I were talking about, like, how do you get people, like, I address the fact straight up that Shakeology is expensive. Like, I will straight up tell people it's expensive. But I talk about how I cut my fast food budget and I changed, and now, like, I fixed my grocery budget around my supplements, right? So I used to go out to eat all the time. Shane and I probably spent like $250 to $300 a month on fast food. And so I said, you know, I switched that out for my Shakeology. I rarely go out to eat now. So I'm actually like saving money. And so I talk about that. I talk about how they can get it with the challenge pack and they're not required to get it again if they don't see the value of it. But I also talk about, like, I've been talking a lot now with my shakes about how, like, what you put into your body is what you get out of it. So if you put in the good stuff, you're going to get good stuff back out. Does that make sense? Any other questions on too much money? Okay. Not enough time. So that's when I talk about, like, oh my gosh, I get it. Like, we are all so busy. I think if you don't have enough time, I think Morning Meltdown 100 would be a great program for you because it's 20 minutes, right? I talk about the 20-minute workouts. I said, you know, you can get your workout started and you can be done in the shower within 30 minutes of your day, right? And so I always talk about the 20-minute workouts when they give me that excuse. I've got this one before. I've had people say they don't want to sign up because they're worried they won't stick to it. So they're worried they'll waste their money. And I just talk about, like, I kind of make a joke about it, you know, and I'm like, oh yeah, like, I totally get it. That was like the same fear I had. But then I realized, like, having a coach who cares about you and an accountability group has really helped me. And so I say, you know, like, I'll check in with you whenever you need me to, like, I won't let you quit. And then that's kind of helped them because they just don't understand, like, if you're not in this realm, you don't understand what an accountability group is and the power it has. And so, I mean, they just think that they're going to get signed up and bam, you're gone and stuff like that. I already have Beachbody. I'm sure we've all got this objection before, and it can be awkward. I used to be super awkward, deer in the headlights, like, I don't know what to say now. Now I, like, have a conversation, right? What program are you doing? Are you in I typically add the little, like, party hat emoji, and I'm like, woo, I'm glad you're already a part of Beachbody, right? Like, because I don't want them to be I think they feel awkward, like in their messages, it just comes off as they feel awkward because they're like, I already have a coach. And I'm like, got it. So then I just try to leave it in a positive note of like, what program are you doing? Are you an accountability group? Is your coach supporting you? That kind of stuff. And here's the thing is I always talk to them. Yes, it takes time. I talk to them because I have had people who have month, 2, 3 months down the road, they told me, I'm happy with my coach, life is good. And they are like, my coach just got promoted in her job and she's quitting coaching. Like, can I switch to you? Like, right? Like, people, you never know. It could be a year from now where I have people now who are like, well, I used to have Beachbody, and I had a good coach, but then I got out of it. And so I'll try your group, and so you never know, and it might come full circle. So I just like to have that conversation. I can do the free stuff. I don't really get this objection too much because normally when I talk to them about it, right, I'll be like, awesome, what do you do? And they're like, I go running, or I do the videos on YouTube, or I do this. But very few people, like, does that actually work out for? Like, very few people are successful. I mean, I know successful runners, but like the YouTube videos that are similar to ours, right? I find very few people who have like been really successful in that just because there's not support, there's not guidance, there's not accountability. So it's kind of challenging to like know what to do. So then I just say, like, what do you do? And they're like, I Google Zumba videos on YouTube. And I'm like, awesome. So is that working for you? How do you feel about that? And then they're either like, yeah, it works great. Like, no problems here. And I'm like, sweet. Or they're like, it probably happens like once or twice a week and I could probably be, more successful and stuff like that. And you just create that. And I just try to show them the value of like having a program that lays it all out for you. Like, you never have to guess. You have access to all these programs. You have an accountability group. Like, there's so many things you get with our programs that you don't get from Googling random ones on YouTube. And I can also relate to that because that's what I try to do. I'm like, I'm not paying for Beachbody. So I like Googled, I don't know, like ab workout. And then I don't know, I did it like once a week and it just isn't good. Okay, now say you got them set up, life is good. You want to make sure you tell them where to find your workouts because many, many humans do not know that, like, right? Because it's called Beachbody On Demand, but they don't understand Beachbody On Demand is like where they go to their workouts. So make sure you tell them where to find their workouts. Get them an accountability group right away. Help them pick a program. So don't just sign them up and be like, okay, you have access to all the workouts, because then they're like deer in the headlights. What do I even do? So I always recommend, 21 Day Fix is something I typically recommend for my new challengers right away because it's a good one to get them started right away. Bar Blend is another one I'm working, like I tell a lot of people to do, especially if they say they don't have a lot of equipment. Bar Blend is a really good one to start them on because almost everywhere I've been, you can find the like 2 to 3 pound weights. And so that's good. Send them a little welcome note. So I did a short video in our Facebook team page about this, but send them a little welcome note, or even if it's like the Monday, they're getting started, right? So if you signed up a challenger on Friday, well, they probably like, we're starting, tomorrow morning. So then send them a text, that says like, hey, like, this is your first day of workouts. Like, no, I'm cheering for you. Let me know if you have any questions, stuff like that. Just send them something so they know you're thinking about you and personal. And then check in frequently. So frequently can mean whatever you want it to mean, right? So maybe you check in once a week, maybe you check in once a month. It's whatever you feel like is right. And so I just always make sure people know I'm here to help them. I probably don't check in as often as I should. It's really tough. I need to get on like a schedule. I don't know, but it's tough. And so quick text messages are always good. And then converting to coaches. So talk to every challenger. So like a lot of people in here, they were challengers before they were coaches, right? Because we want to make sure before we're going to endorse something and say like, hey, you should use this, that we like it too. And then your gals who are working out every day, those are your people who are likely to coach, right? The girls who are posting, the girls who are, interacting in the Facebook group, the girls that are, I guess it could be guys too, but whoever is, really loving it is probably the people who are going to coach or want to coach. And so I talk with every challenger and make sure, like I always do it before their next their next subscription. So I don't know, say their Shakeology is going to ship on the 14th. I would probably talk to them like 5 days before and be like, hey, like your Shakeology is going to like auto ship, you know, and here's how you do this and yada, yada, yada. Like if you want more, have you ever thought of being a coach to get the discount, right? And then that's kind of how I bring that conversation around to Jess is really good at talking to people beforehand. Like she has kind of a really good spiel too that she shared last week on her call about how she talks to people before they sign up about the discount. And so that was really helpful. Because I kind of do it on the back side of things, but she does it on the front side of things, which is good. And so, yeah, I think that's all I have. So now if you have questions or something to add or anything, I would love to, I don't know what I'm doing to talk about that. What questions are there or comments, concerns? Oh, there's a chat I didn't see. Oh yeah, I don't do MLL. Yeah. Some people are very convinced that we're like a pyramid scheme and we're going to take all your money and whatever, which you can't float their boat. Yeah, it's tough. Some people are like, I don't do, I've had a lot of people like, cause SDSU, there was a lot of my friends who did like dietetics degrees or like I don't know, exercise science degrees that are very like hateful towards Beachbody coaches. Angie and I actually have a cousin who is actually like very like, she posts publicly on her, like, I think she does it because she knows Angie and I are Beachbody coaches, but she like literally posts straight hate to her story about Beachbody coaches. And I'm like, okay, thanks. This is cool. Unfollow. And so everything she has to disagree with. Like bubbler, she told me I should drink LaCroix because bubbler has too many ingredients it doesn't need. And I'm like, just leave me alone. It's not healthy enough. Bubbler isn't healthy.
It literally says in the grocery store it's dietitian approved. Okay, done.
But it's not our cousin approved, so she knows all. But milking cows are also hurtful, so that's that, according to her. Sorry, I'm done. Yeah, that's a good one though, Callahan, you'll get that. And at first I got like, I think I remember the first time it happened and I posted something very snarky on my story, like literally her exact wording, but like the opposite. And she didn't say anything and I took it down. And I think Angie and I had this conversation, like I called Angie and I'm like, I feel so personally attacked. And it's not, doesn't have anything to do with us. So.
Side note, look, Brianna, another baby.
I know, right? Now you have more mom friends.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I think all I did was like, I just like liked the message and was like, well, if you ever want any information, let me know.
Yep, you're like, kill them with kindness. I guess that's my thing for everything, right? I'm like, okay, sounds good. Like, got it. I don't know what to say. Oh.
I was just like, whatever, you just had a baby. I thought maybe would want to work out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And some people just like don't want to. I don't know. Right. So there's some really good podcasts, like Trent Shelton talks about like your haters, like people who hate on you are actually because they're very insecure in themselves. And so they see you making these really cool life changes. And the only way they can react is like by hating on you because that's their only method of defense. Like instead of putting the energy in to change themselves, they're defensive about like what you're doing because you're being successful. So that took me a while too to wrap my head around, like some people, which I did it too. Like if you would have heard the things I said about Beachbody coaches before I was a Beachbody coach, like you would be like, wow, you're a hypocrite. And I'm like, I was one of those people who were like, Beachbody coaches are dumb blondes who just, I don't know, all they do is look good in a bikini and don't do anything. So.
I guess I have a quick question. So how do you know what to post like on your actual feed every day? Like more, not just like your stories about your everyday life or whatever, but that gives them more content. Like, I don't know, I'm running out of ideas, I guess.
Yes. So some things I do are recipes. So I try to post, like, I would maybe even like make a list of 7 things you can post, right? Like a recipe, you could do a tip or a trick. You could do something, you know, that like working out with a mirror, you know, like working out with a mirror helps you, or how do you work out with a baby? You could talk about that, because how many moms are probably struggling right now? Like, how do you work out while you have this small child running around and two small childs running around? Like, you could talk about school. Like everyone right now is obsessed with what schools are doing. So obviously I'm not like plastering out there my school's COVID plan, because I don't want my school to be like, what are you doing? Like talking about, like, I had a post that like in my world went viral. It got like 15,000 views on it and was like, I don't know, I got like 600 likes on it, which is obviously like times I never get that. And it was because it was about coronavirus and how hard it is on teachers and how hard it is on students and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think what else I have on here. Angie posts a lot of good stuff about faith, devotionals, her relationship with God. I'm trying to think. Where is it? I like legit plan it out. So like on my schedule up here, it says exactly what I'm posting. So it talks about like meal prepping, posting about my team, trusting God, Transformation Tuesday. And those sometimes change, right? Like some days I'm not like some days I get a good idea and I'm like, I'm posting this. I also have photos in my drafts and stuff like that, or just posting about being yourself, or, you know, stuff that moms might need too. And so I don't know if that helps.
Have you shared your YouTube deal yet with everybody? Or have you talked about that on the university thing?
Oh, yeah. So the other thing is the New Coach University is up and running. But the other thing too that I wanted to talk about with new challengers. So what I do is like when we have the MBF group we created, I created a video like specifically for those challengers about MBF that explained it. I went in, I showed them my screen, right? I used Zoom and recorded just like we are here. I showed them how to go to their workouts. I showed them where to find resources. I showed them, you know, and I have one that's just Beachbody On Demand specific. And that's what I send to my challengers. And it says in there, make sure you're in our challenge group. Make sure you do this, right? And it talks about, if you don't have weights, like it just, and so I created this little video. It's like not even 5 minutes long. It was just on Zoom. It was me talking, me recording my screen, showing them Beachbody On Demand, showing them the Beachbody blog, showing them like MBF. I showed them where to go for the nutrition programs, like, because I think it's hard. And yes, like some of us, like me, I'm like, I'll figure it out. Like I'll just go in and play around. But some people need things really step by step for them. And so, but yes, my YouTube has lots of good places. Lots of good things. And all our team calls are there too. So if you want to go back to there, or I'm trying to think like what else is the New Coach University. And you guys can even see my new challenger videos because it's one of my playlists on my YouTube, because I made one specifically for Bar Blend when we did that group too. I just think it's nice because then I can send them that video and it talks about like where you find your workouts, how you pick a program. Like it just kind of goes through all the details. Because then you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time, right? I'm trying to take steps so that I don't have to continually like I want to have that conversation with the challenger about what program they should do and stuff like that. But I don't want to spend 20 minutes explaining where Beachbody On Demand is, explaining where to find the recipes. Like I can make a video and then I can just share that link instead of redoing it every single time. Like even my invites, guys, I'm telling you, like I've got invites in my notes, and every day that's the invite I send, because I do not have even my explanation of my challenge group, right? When they say, yes, send me more details, I have a pre-written thing that maybe I modify to meet them, but I don't have time to spend 5 minutes typing out a message. If like last week, every single day I sent out 25 invites. So I'm like, if you think if I would have spent 5 minutes on each one of those, like that would have taken a long time, which you spend a lot of time because if they reply, but I'm like, you gotta simplify the processes so they can go quicker. Because I used to take like, I don't know, I probably took an hour to send like 10 invites. Now I can send 25 invites probably in 15 minutes. If Instagram doesn't kick you out at Amber. So.
Yeah, they definitely thought I was spamming people because I sent 25 invites like one day and then I did it the next day and it was just like a copy and paste message. So note to self, mix it up a little bit and Instagram won't kick you out.
I try to add a name or add something, to the end. But.
I mean, yeah, like I even changed their name, but it still like thought I was spamming people for some reason. So.
So that sounds good. Any other questions or comments or concerns? Okay, that sounds good. I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. Anyone else had a long weekend? Yeah. Okay. If you have questions this week, you know where to find me. And so if you guys ordered Angie, you got yours. You said you got yours. Good. They came in the mail really fast. And so, okay. That's all. Okay, that's all, folks. I will see you later. We'll try to do a power hour. Oh, if you want to, if you're up early in the mornings, Self-Love Dynasty, they're doing a power hour at 5:45 in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to try, so I'm telling myself, I'll be done with my workout at 5:45, and I will do like a power half hour because I'm trying
I'm going to text you.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, we should be on the workout Zoom. And so I need to make sure I'm like done by 5:45 and I can work till whatever and get my stuff done. So, okay, that sounds good.
Can you send me the link to the workout Zoom? I tried to find it, but could not.
Yes. I will do that. Okay.
Someone help me become a morning person. I suck.
Turn your alarm forward like 5 minutes each day. That's how I did it. I was a bad morning person. And then I just had to, like, I would do 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes earlier, 5 or 10 minutes, but stuff like that. So my
I hate it. Like, I get really crappy when I wake up. So like thing like that I tell myself is like, if I get up early, I don't have to deal with anyone. So I just walk to the bathroom in the dark, don't even turn on the light. Like all I have is a night light. I go to the bathroom, I mix my Energize, and once I have a sip of that, I'm like, okay, now we can turn on the lights.
Yeah, I like hide in my basement. Hopefully Shane doesn't hear this, but he is so needy. So it's like from the minute I walk upstairs, it's like, can you pack my lunch? Where's my laundry? Do you know where my belt is? Where are my shoes? And I'm like, so I like hide in my basement as long as possible in the morning. And so, yeah, I like it because no one else is awake. No one's messaging me. No one's wanting anything from me. Most humans are still asleep. So, okay, that sounds good. I will see you guys later. Love you. Bye-bye.